Men, what could you not forgive your girlfriend for? TLDR, she physically abused me, punched me in the groin in front of others. When I confronted her wrongdoing, she broke up. It followed emotional abuse for the next 3 to 4 months of breakup cause we worked in the same unit, longer version, we'll edit in intervals. We were in med school year 3 when we started dating. We were acquaintances from the dissection lab before, eventually shared same the group in clinic teachings. What started as frenemies to close friends turned into full-blown love. We were committed in about 1 year and were together for another 2 when the cracks started to show. Pertaining to the incidents, we were at a rural community health center as interns with a few other colleagues. Case load was low and we rotated 2 hourly in pairs through the day to see patients. While we were on our off, we were working on a PowerPoint presentation for a community research we concluded. She was on it and I was helping her out. She has had this habit to hit me from before. While engrossed in it, I realized it was our time to go attend patients and told her repeatedly that we ought to go. She didn't listen, and when I was requesting her over and again that it's time, she turned around and punched me in the groin, unprovoked. This happened while there were 2 other women colleagues in the room. In front of them. Anybody who's had it in the balls knows how bad it hurts. As it did to me. It hurt for a good long minute as I egressed from the room in embarrassment and went to tend to patient consults. She joined me in another 3 minutes. Later that day I texted her after getting back home that what she did was wrong and it caused physical pain to me. She apologized over text. Next day when we come back to the community health center, she says she wants to talk. And breaks up with me, giving reasons that I deserve someone better, and that she isn't good enough for me. But it was pretty obvious that it was her way of getting back at me for calling her out / saving herself. This wasn't the first time she hit me in the groin. It has happened before, but only in playfulness. She's a bit childish in that sense. The trauma that was to come wasn't from the physical act of punching me in the groin, but from the harrowing mind games and emotional abuse that followed. I didn't do anything wrong, then why did I get punished both, hit in the groin and a breakup of a long well-built relationship? It was a lot of time, effort, investment and memories that built the relationship over 3 years, and for her to just destroy it overnight completely broke me for the next 3 months. It was me just trying to move earth and mountain to win her over, apologize myself. There was a lot of emotional abuse, victimizing and gaslighting. A lot of yelling at me. Threats. I couldn't reach out to anyone cause it was embarrassing. We'll edit this bit later. My ex told her parents I hit her. I got a call from her parents that they were going to call the cops. My ex calls me on the phone drunk saying that she didn't think her parents would call her bluff. She told them I hit her because they saw a bruise. The bruise was caused by her falling down because she was wasted and she didn't want to admit it. I wasn't even at the bar she was at when she got drunk. Her parents called me later to apologize. I broke up with her the next day. I had to cancel a date because my dad was in a lot of pain due to being terminally ill, and I wanted to be there for him. She got mad at me because, "You're always with your dad and never with me." He died that night. After I told her he died, she ignored me for a whole week. Afterwards, she told me she was sorry and that she had regrets. I've never accepted her apology and I'm still pissed off at her. It was 4 years ago. Dated a girl for around 6 months and it was pretty much the same deal. She always thought I was fucking around with other girls despite having no reason to think I was. She'd get mad when I'd talk to my friends' girlfriends and would accuse me of sleeping with them. Turns out I was one of 5 dudes she was seeing. I was her favorite though, and she was planning on breaking it off with all of them when she was ready to stop hoeing around. Left her by sending a text, and last I heard one of those poor bastards got her pregnant with twins. They're engaged and pretty damn miserable. My barber once told me that his girlfriend went off birth control and was trying to get pregnant without telling him. I'd say that's pretty high on the unforgivable list for me. That's actually a really crazy part. He found out because she told his mom. I guess the two of them were close because the mom didn't tell him until after they had already broken up for other reasons, which sounds absolutely absurd to me because my mom wouldn't ever do something like that. I didn't understand how he wasn't pissed at his mom to the point of not wanting to talk to her after that. Thankfully he dodged a bullet at the last second, but their whole situation and breakup was wild. My ex-wife constantly accused me of cheating. It didn't matter who. Girl at work? Cheating. Female friend of 15 years who just got married? Cheating. One of my best friend's wife who was also my insurance agent? Definitely cheating. Do you know who was actually cheating? Her. On me. With my cousin. For half of the 6-year relationship, including the 8-month-long marriage. That's just the one I definitely know about, not the 4 or 5 others I suspected her of, and when it started she told me he got creepy around her, so I confronted him because, you know, he's my cousin and you don't do that. She flipped her shit, said she threw my engagement ring off a bridge, that I should pack my shit and leave because it happened to her so it's not my business. Huge red flag, but I could never prove anything. So 3 years later, mid-divorce because she was leaving me for another man, I was told about it with the sole intention of it hurting me. Joke's on her, at that point it was just her taking the rest of trash with her. Now I listen to what people accuse me of, and why, and how often, because it's usually a projection or at least a huge insecurity. My ex was like this. We were together for like 2 or 3 years and she was horrible the whole time. Pushed most of my friends away, and made sure she pushed away all of my female friends. Whenever I talked about someone in our common social circle, she would get jealous and accuse me of wanting to fuck them. Whenever I talked about something a female coworker did, I apparently also wanted to fuck them, and talked about them too much. Never did I cheat once. She was allowed male friends, because I trusted her, and it turned out that she kissed one coworker. I was young and stupid at that time and gave her another chance. About a year of dealing with her abusive shit later, she went on a girls' trip to another city, met up with one of her guy mates, and sucked his dick. She tried to blame it on getting high on ecstasy, but that's no excuse. I've been high plenty of times and never wanted to cheat on my partner. Anyway, being a bit of an anxious wreck at the time, I'd been looking for an out for ages, as I didn't know how to leave a long-term relationship and start over. But I took her cheating a second time as my chance to get out of that shit situation that I'm sure not everyone who accuses is projecting, but she sure was.